My heart has been functioning at 30% my entire life, half of what yours does. And for 31 years, I had no idea what that actually meant. I was around 8 months old when they first found out, after, I believe, having a seizure. And that's when they discovered my heart. Congenital cardiomyopathy. From that point, my entire childhood was built around it. Cardiology appointments every 6 months, multiple medications just to keep me functioning, exempt from PE from the very start. And somehow, I didn't fully understand what I was living with. I felt normal, so I just lived like I was. My normal was just very different from everyone else's. When I moved to Canada, I kind of left the monitoring behind. New country, a new version of myself I was building from scratch. Out of sight, out of mind. And then one day I fainted. The doctors didn't hesitate and sent me straight to the hospital. And that's when I found out about the WPW. An electrical problem in the heart on top of everything else. They tried a procedure to correct it, which didn't work because the wiring was someplace that they could not operate on safely. So we went back to the medications, back to the Holter monitors, back to the ECGs, back to the echoes, and I just kept moving. And then I got pregnant and they referred me to a high-risk team. I sat down in a room with 5 doctors and they explained what pregnancy does to the body. The extra burden it places on the heart, the blood volume, the demand, and the risk. And then they said what they needed to say. Your heart carrying a baby, we need you to really consider if you want to go through with this. 5 doctors. One of the toughest conversations I've ever had in my life. And I sat there, as composed as I'll ever be. And I said, I will be carrying my baby, unwaveringly. And then I walked out of that room and I broke down because I was so terrified. But I knew. My pregnancy was smooth with little to no complications. I had to inject myself with blood thinners every single day. And when she arrived, I looked at her and I wondered how I was ever deemed worthy of something so perfect. After she was born, they started discussing an ICD, which is a device that's implanted to your chest which monitors your heart rhythm. And if it detects something dangerous, it shocks it back. The doctor had told me I needed to be in the hospital away from my newborn and that I couldn't hold her for about a week after. My baby had just arrived and she needed me to be present. She needed me to hold her. So I parked it. And then came the ER scares. The second one is the one that really hit me the hardest because I had to leave her. My heart was racing and you could literally see it beating from across the room. That image really broke something inside of me. 8 months ago, I got the ICD. And for the first time in 31 years, I stopped being able to tell myself I was fine. I depend on a device to live without the fear of sudden death. And that's not even me being dramatic. That is just what it is. And I have never been more clear about what my life is actually for. Here is what living with an invisible illness actually looks like. I am always tired. For years, I didn't understand why. I thought something was additionally wrong with me. I thought I was weak. But when your heart is functioning at 30%, your body is working twice as hard to do half as much. The tiredness is not laziness, it's psychology, but nobody sees that. They see you sitting down when they think you should be moving, so they call it being lazy. There are also the palpitations, a flutter and the immediate question, will this one stop on its own or is this the one? I've never had a shock from my ICD. And to be quite honest, I am scared of what that will feel like when I do. Because from the outside, I look completely fine. I am not incapable. My body just works differently than most. There is a difference between someone understanding your limitations and reducing you to them. I know why I need rest. I know my capacity on any given day. I know what I'm managing beneath the surface that nobody else can see. Only you know you. Don't internalize what other people say when they can't see what you're carrying. You don't owe nobody an explanation for how your body works. And if a doctor gives you a timeline, take that information, take care of yourself, and go and live your life. All of my life, I thought I was living like everyone else when I wasn't. My normal was just very different from other people's. And it took 31 years, a device in my chest, 2 ER stays away from my daughter, for me to take in the full weight of what I'm carrying. I plan on spending the rest of my days working to exceed every single expectation. Not in spite of it, because of it.